Good morning to all of you. So already we have revised all the three chapters: force and pressure, friction and sound, which is going to come in your half yearly examination. Now in today's class I will give the overview of all the three chapters combined, okay, in very much short, okay, and please watch all the revision video. It will be much helpful to you. But before watching revision video, you have to watch the video which in the regular class I have taught to you. Okay? So now, when we are talking about the force and pressure, in the force and pressure, we have talked that the force is a push and pull, and we can only feel the force. We can only feel the force. And in the case of force, we have talked that the force is of two types. That is contact force and non-contact force. In the contact force, see, for the force to come into exist, there must be two objects. So in the contact force, we have talked that when two objects are in physical contact with each other and a force exists, that type of force is said to be contact force. And the force which come into play when two objects are not in physical contact with each other, that is non-contact force. In the case of contact force, we have talked about muscular force and frictional force. Friction force. In the non-contact force, we have talked about gravitation, magnetic, electrostatic. Okay, so this was all about the force, and I have also said to you that the force is measured in means SI unit of force is Newton. In short, we denote it with capital N. Okay, and the CGS unit of force is dyne. What is the CGS unit of force? That is dyne. And 1 Newton is equal to 10 to power 5 dyne. It is note one thing in mind. If you have to convert in any exam, it is asked that to convert 1 Newton dyne into Newton or Newton into dyne. So please remember a formula that 1 Newton is equal to 10 to power 5 dyne. Dyne is the CGS unit of force and the SI unit of force is Newton, or you can also write is as kg meter per second square, or what you can say it as kg meter per second square. If in the option kg meter per second square is given, then write this, or if Newton is given, then write that. Okay, so SI unit of force is our Newton. Second thing, after that we have talked about the pressure, and in the pressure what we have talked that pressure is force per unit area. Force per unit area is known as pressure, and this pressure is equal to force upon area, and the unit of pressure is Newton per meter square, or it is Pascal. In short, we write P or small a, that is Pascal. And we have also said that pressure is inversely proportional to area if force remain constant. It means that if the force is constant and if we will increase the area, then what will happen? If area will be increased, under which condition? Force remain constant. If force remain constant and if area will be increased, then pressure will be decreased. And vice versa. What is the meaning of vice versa? Opposite. If area will be decreased, pressure will increase, and many example of this you see in day-to-day life. Okay, that when we will take a sharp knife and a blunt knife, so cutting with means blunt knife will be more tough in comparison to cutting with a sharp knife, because in the case of sharp knife area is less, and if area will be less, okay, if area will be less, okay, then what will happen? Then our pressure will be, if area will be less, pressure will be more. After that we have talked about the atmospheric pressure. The pressure which is exerted by the atmosphere, and it is very much high. For this we have seen activity also in the on the last page of your NCERT book about the horse. Okay, that two 8 horse were employed on one side, and they were trying to remove the hemisphere which is just joined by removing the air inside it. Okay, so that is atmospheric pressure. That is all about the chapter force and pressure. Now after that we have talked about the chapter friction. In the friction what we have seen, that friction always opposes the motion. Friction opposes the motion. It means if friction will be more, we have to apply less external force to continue anything is motion. Second thing, this is only the friction, okay, due to which a body which is in motion automatically come into rest, because friction force act as our what? External force. And friction is of 3 types, that is static friction, sliding friction, and rolling friction. And these static and rolling, these are known as combined kinetic friction. You will study about kinetic friction in higher class, and there the friction is divided into static friction, limiting friction, and kinetic friction. So static friction act when object is at rest, and second, sliding friction when one object slide over the surface of other object. Rolling friction when one object roll over the surface of other objects, and we all have seen that which friction is more and which friction is less. Obviously the static friction will be more. Okay, if the friction will be more, then more force is required to make the thing to come, the thing must come into motion from rest. So this all we have talked in the chapter friction. Frictional force, it is also frictional force. So sometime it will ask in the exam that what is the unit of frictional force. So the unit of frictional force will be same as the unit of force. After that we have talked about the chapter sound. In the chapter sound we have talked that what is sound. Sound is sensation of hearing, and for the one of the most important condition for the production of sound is that is vibration. Okay, what is vibration? To and fro motion. And in the case of sound we have also studied that the sound means in the case of solid the speed of sound is more as comparison to liquid, and in the case of liquid the speed of sound is more as comparison to gas, because in the case of solid intermolecular spacing is less, but in the case of gas the intermolecular is very much high. We have also talked about the types of sound depending on the frequency. If the frequency of the sound is less than 20 Hz or more than 20,000 Hz, so the sound produced is inaudible. We cannot hear, a normal human being cannot hear. But if a sound whose frequency lies from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz, that is audible sound. Okay, but many animals are there which can listen inaudible sound also. Okay, the sound is frequency is less than 20 hertz, it is said to be infrasonic, and the more than 20,000 hertz, it is said to be ultrasonic. Okay, and we have also talked about the human ear, how the sound in the case of human ear, it goes through our ear, and how we are able to listen the sound. In that I have talked about the pinna. Okay, through the pinna it enters into ear canal. After that it strikes on the eardrum. After that in the middle part there are three teeny bones, hammer, anvil and stirrup. They come into motion, and they are connected. There's our stirrup is connected to oval window, and behind oval window there is a liquid in the cochlea which come into vibration, and vibrating liquid, if the liquid vibrate, then what it produce sound, and the sound through the nerve it go through the brain, and brain interprets it, and in this way we are able to listen the sound. So this we have talked in this chapter sound. So please listen all the video lecture of all the 3 chapters properly, and try to read the NCERT book line by line. Okay, and all the concept must be clear to you. If you have any doubt from any part, please contact me. Okay, and best of luck for your half yearly exam. Thank you. God bless you.